that's the most important thing with all of the inner critic stuff is like just separating it out from you. There's multiple parts within you. That inner critic is just one part. So it's just like a relationship to manage or develop or something.
Hey friends, welcome to the Sour Notes podcast, the podcast where musicians get curious about their inner critic, self-doubt, and the darker side of the creative process that we don't often hear about. I'm your host, Roxanne Potvang. I'm a singer-songwriter and a lifetime sufferer of my own inner noise. And every other week, I invite artists to share their stories and insights on this somewhat inconvenient reality. Today I'm thrilled to share my conversation with a very dear musical friend and collaborator for many years, a painter of lap steel, swells, and soundscapes, a quiet force, and one of the most humble and wise people I know, Christine Bougie. In this episode, we talk about how to stay in constant dialogue with the many parts of ourselves at play in the creative process. Hi, Christine.
Hello.
It's so nice to see you.
I know, it's been a while.
It's been like 5 years.
It's a long time.
We used to hang out every few months.
It's true.
For a while.
Yeah.
For a long while.
Yeah, and you're living like down the street from me for a long time.
I was. Yeah.
Many years ago.
Christine played on my records from 2008 to the last one was 2018. So yeah 10 years of.
It's true.
Yeah. So anyway.
Lots of albums, lots of gigs.
Yeah. Fun times. Welcome to the Sour Notes podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad that you were down for this. And I'm down in Toronto, so it works out. We can do it in person.
Yeah,
and
totally.
Suffer the horrible Zoom call.
Yeah, no, thank you. Don't have to look at my own face.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So we were just talking about, do we all have to ask when you started playing music? But I'm going to ask, was there a defining moment that made you want to be a musician?
I mean, in a way, I guess, like I did start playing when I was around 10 years old, because a guitar, I'm sure I told you this before on a personal level. Maybe I haven't talked about it.
I don't even know if we've had this conversation in a van.
Right, yeah.
Maybe, probably.
I mean, yeah, my dad, somebody bought my dad a guitar, like at the office where he was working, and then so a guitar just like appeared in our house at some point.
Yeah.
And around that age when I was 9 or 10, and he picked it up and he could just play it already. So like he had obviously played guitar at some point in the past, but just never had one. So yeah, I mean, so starting to play was just, it's because it was there and he was playing some tunes and I thought it looked cool and fun and I just picked it up and like took to it quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like in my memory before that, I was really into like drawing and illustration and like comic books. And I thought like when I grow up, I want to be a comic book artist. And that's where all my creative energy was going into. And then I can see a shift around that time when I was like, actually, it's music. And I kind of stopped. Like my drawing skills are sort of halted at this point. Like if I draw something, it looks probably identical to something I drew as a 10-year-old.
Arrested Development.
Yeah. Whereas, the guitar has developed a bit since then.
Right.
So I don't know, was there like a defining moment or a decision? I mean, it was a shift in interest. And yeah, music is just so much more. It kind of encompasses so much more than just drawing alone, because it was like, now it's a thing that I can do and play with other people or, play along with records and share it in some way. And that, just grew a life of its own probably.
Yeah.
Right?
I know you went to Humber.
Yeah.
Were you playing gigs before you went to Humber, like around your hometown?
I was, in St. Catharines. My first gigs, like the first time I would play publicly was there was an open mic that happened on Sunday nights at a little club called The Club downtown. But it was a cool venue that had like music every night of the week. And on Sundays they had open mics. And I think when I was like 14, my dad would bring me there and like sit at the bar and not hang out with me and let me kind of like mingle and hang with a few older people that I knew from downtown and hang out with them and do basically the same thing that I do now, which is like accompany people on they'd sign up to do their songs
Yeah.
and then they'd be like, "Can you play with me?"
Yeah.
And I'd go up and like accompany multiple people, never like going up to do my own thing, just
Yeah.
like accompanying people.
Yeah.
And yeah, those are my first unpaid gigs, but first like experiences playing. And then I did get involved in some bands around that time and played in like cafes, coffee shops back when like people were smoking in coffee shops and
Yeah.
in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
went to a high school that had a good music program. So that's when I got into like learning jazz and then playing in a little like they kind of put together a little jazz quartet within like the best players in the school. And we would do gigs. We'd be sent out like by the school to play gigs at like the school board's,
Wow.
convention or whatever.
First
Like it
corporate gigs.
yeah, corporate gigs. Like hotel ballroom gigs where we'd make, $50 each or something to play for 4 hours and just play I don't know what we were playing. The 5 jazz songs that we knew how to play or
Yeah.
something, but those are my first yeah, so I feel like I was gigging a lot before I
Okay.
even went to Humber,
Yeah.
you know?
And what was the music back then that like before jazz that you were trying to play? Like,
I mean, in the earliest days, I just liked classic rock stuff
yeah.
and Led Zeppelin, and, like, that was the stuff that attracted me to playing guitar in the first
Yeah.
place, but I didn't really play in any, like, cool rock bands or
Yeah.
anything. I kinda was always gravitating toward, I don't know, singer-songwriters who kinda maybe also liked jazz players to accompany them, and
Mm.
so it was natural for me to get into jazz. Like, my earliest connection to jazz was through Joni Mitchell's music
Yeah.
because I was into Joni's music, and then from there, I was like, "Who are these players?" And, like, especially in her mid to late '70s jazz, Jocko
Yeah.
era, and then I would just go to the library in St. Catharines and flip through and just look up those people and take out,
Right.
like, okay, I'll take out 10 Jocko albums and or a few of them
Yeah.
and take them home and listen to them, and that kinda led me into that world. So it was kind of a natural step from,
Mhm.
the kind of pop folk stuff that I was into.
Yeah, and then going to Humber and the jazz program kind of makes sense from
Right.
there.
It just feels like once you're into music
Yeah.
and, like, learning and you wanna, like, become a better musician, jazz is a place to do that,
Yeah.
because it there's something to study and get
Mhm.
into as opposed to, like, just rock and pop music, like, it's yeah.
Yeah, I guess jazz has been kind of put into more academic context, like where you
Exactly.
can go and learn
Right.
all the rudiments
Yeah,
in
which
a
also has, like
structured way.
yeah, which is problematic as well, like, it's not
Yeah.
supposed to be that maybe,
Alright.
but and I felt like I don't know if I told you about this, but I went to the Banff, creative music jazz and creative music workshop thing that they do every
Yeah.
year.
Mhm.
I went to that just, like, right after I finished at Humber,
Mhm.
and it's just a 3-week program where they have Dave Douglas was running it at the time, I don't know if he still is,
Mhm.
but and Bill Frisell was there because he was currently in Dave Douglas's band, and it's 3
Cool.
weeks of, like, these, world-class jazz musicians coming to do master classes and play with you and
Wow.
sorta teach you in a loose way, and, there were all these, like, free jazz, musicians too, a lot of, like, European guys and American people, and that I felt like I learned more in those 3 weeks from my 3 years at Humber in a way,
Right.
and it was because there was so much, like, free playing,
Yeah.
and we didn't really do that at school. Like, it was a bit too regimented and cookie cutter in a
Structured.
way, and yeah, so it was, like, really eye-opening to I mean, I guess it was good to have that background and go into it, and then just be like, "Okay, well, now this is what actual free playing is with the
Yeah.
skills that you have," you know?
Yeah, but I can totally see how making that transition could be super terrifying.
Right, yeah.
From, like, having somebody hold your
That's true,
hand,
that's
like,
true.
"Do this," and for people maybe who are a little bit anxious or whatever and, like,
Yeah.
really need a roadmap or, like, here's the deep end, have
It's
fun.
true.
It's
Yeah, but
like, yeah.
also but to be thrown in the deep end
Yeah.
with, like, amazing musicians
Yeah.
and, like, you're sort of vetted before you've you've been
Sure.
accepted to go there, so it's like, "Okay, you're good enough to be here."
You can figure it out, yeah.
And, yeah, it made like, I felt like I got superpowers of playing, like, I was never a good reader, like, sight reader, I'm not good at reading
Yeah.
music, but they would put music in front of me, like, in a little ensemble that we were put into, and I felt like I could read it. Like, I was
Yeah.
just like, "Oh, I have to, like, step it up," because the expectation of everyone around me, and so it's good to be thrown into the deep end
Yeah.
in that way, and then it gave me a kind of confidence, like, I feel like I left that program feeling like, I'm ready to do whatever I wanna do." Like, I don't
Yeah.
need to do any more schooling or anything, like
It showed you what you were capable of
yeah.
to be challenged in that way.
Exactly, and just
Yeah.
to be around people who are really doing it and out in the world playing music, playing this kind of music, and sitting with you and being like, "You can do it." Like, you're
Totally.
there, like, you're ready to do
Absolutely.
it.
And you're a super Bill Frisell fan too,
Yeah,
so that must have been awesome.
exactly. I mean, that was the big thing. It was like, that's why I went, and I got to play with him one-on-one and have a, sort of lesson, more just jamming through tunes, and that was really impactful
Yeah.
because I mean, he basically, like, literally said to me, like, you're ready to do whatever you wanna do." I can't remember how he
Wow.
worded it, but that's the feeling I got, like, the message from him was like, "D all you have to do is just do it. You're ready to go." You know, and then I went home and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna make a record."
Yeah.
And I made a record after that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes you just need a push from, someone that you respect. I have to remember to do that for other people too, because I don't always do that, but when I see, like, there's certain younger players who are like, have the thing, you're like, you just gotta tell them that because it could set them off in the right direction, you
Make a
know?
huge difference.
Yeah.
Would you say that you had a pretty good amount of confidence before then too, like through school and before that? Like,
I mean, I kind of feel like I did in a weird way, like, yeah, I've been thinking about, when does my inner critic pop up? And it hasn't often been around, like, in the areas where it's like I'm supporting other people, maybe, because I do a lot of that kind of playing. And, like, and in my early days of playing, like I said, like, the first gigs that I was doing, I've always been, like, a support player.
mhm,
And, yeah, maybe after Banff and after meeting Frizzell, that gave me the confidence to be like, "Okay, I'm gonna lead my own thing. I'm gonna, like,
right.
lead a band." And I might not have, like, felt ready, like, or that I could do that before that moment,
Mhm,
and I could only support people because, yeah, supporting people, it's like you just feel like you don't have as much on the line. You're a part of a
mhm,
team and, like, someone else is ultimately responsible, like,
mhm.
you're just there to support them and they call the shots, and it's great for the person putting together a band to assemble people, and you get all that energy of, like, people who are just invested enough, but they're not like, the whole thing's not on the line for it, and
Yeah.
that's good energy to use because, like, you need that because 'cause they're just gonna be throwing ideas
Yeah,
and
and willing to go in the
yeah,
direction that you wanna take them
right.
in.
You're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
it's not my you want me to do this? Great," and then you
Yeah.
can just control that. It just fulfills so many needs, like, you're connecting with people,
Yep.
you get to maybe have a moment, you can feel like you're contributing, like
Yeah.
have, like, something to add, so you're special too, but you're part of this thing, and you're not in the spotlight necessarily,
Yeah.
and there's just so much, like, you don't know what's gonna happen because it's you're making it up, you're improvising, or there's
Yep.
some element of you're not sure what's gonna happen, even if you're playing a song with structure, and then also, you know what's gonna happen because you're doing something, and
Yeah.
you have this control over it, so it just, like, hits all the points, It's just, like, addictive to do that.
Yeah, and that part of, feeling like you're contributing something
Mm,
that matters to someone else,
right,
and it's in that context, it's an immediate
right.
role, like,
Yeah,
it's
like the
it's
feedback
it's
of it.
different from when you're a front person or a songwriter or whatever, and you put an album out,
Mhm.
and you don't know like, some people are listening to the album and going like, "Oh, wow, I'm so glad that song exists now."
Right.
But you don't know,
Yeah. Yeah,
really. Like,
totally.
whereas in that role, you kind of like, I'm doing something for someone right now in
Yeah.
this moment because
Yeah.
I'm supporting the base,
Totally, and, like,
you know,
even, like, you feel the audience, you're
in the
entertaining
audience.
them, they're giving it to you, and
That
then
too.
your bandmates, yeah, and
Yeah,
you're doing something, yeah, you're making something with the drummer when you're playing bass, you're like, "We're doing a thing," and it's
yeah,
really, like, crucial, and we're locking in, and yeah.
yeah. Like, do you think that role of community has a lot to do with, um, sort of keeping the inner critic in check?
Probably, because it
Yeah,
just feels I mean, that's what sort of cures a lot of your problems in general, your
yeah,
inner problems, the problems that are, like, generated in your own mind.
yeah,
It is, other people, right? Like,
yeah.
if it's like that's why, solitary confinement is, like, the ultimate torture for someone is
Mhm,
just to be totally alone,
mhm,
and, eh yeah, like, you need to get outside yourself, you need to have feedback, you need to connect with someone,
mhm,
and music is just the best way to do that. It's one of the best ways to do that anyway. You're making something, it's creative, it's, like, so fulfilling, and you feel like you're making something mean something in real time. You're, like, making meaning with your friends,
yeah, and
and
sharing the same love.
yeah, and that's
Yeah,
the community, like, my whole life is that. Like, everyone that's all the people in my life, it's like that's the family and community of my life. So the people that we have come together probably from playing music mostly,
yeah,
most of the people that I'm close with,
yeah,
and yeah, that's really cool. It's really beautiful,
yeah,
yeah.
and so, so helpful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but when it's just you, when it's just me alone, that's more when I've had to, you know, battle with an inner critic, I guess, to
right,
be like, yeah, this I it ends with me, like, every decision, like, "Is
right.
this done? Is this good enough? Is
The
this"
pressure is on you to, yeah, to make
Right,
the final decision, I
yeah,
guess.
and that's always hard for me, but I've had yeah, I don't know, I've had a kind of a confidence in my ability to support and be a part
Yeah,
of, like, to play with people,
yeah.
even before that, but
Yeah, like, making music wasn't exactly where that critic lived for you. It's like, I
exactly.
know I can
Right.
play the notes, I know
Yeah.
I can make the whatever needs to be made
Yeah.
musically, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's more when it's like you're gonna put something down and, like, put your name on it or, like,
Yeah,
lead a show or, like, I still don't really enjoy, like, doing my own I'm sure I could, book tours and play my own shows, and it's just
yeah.
kinda too it's out of my comfort zone for sure. I'll do it
Mhm.
once in a while, but and then after I do it, I'm like, "Oh, that wasn't that bad. Like, I should do
Mhm.
that more often."
Do
But
you want to?
not really. And I think that's
Right.
the thing. It's
Mhm.
like I push myself to do it or someone asks me to do something and I'm like,
Mhm.
"Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do it." And then there's things about it that I like, but I definitely don't want to, and, like, it's not like a desire, like,
Yeah.
when I'm not doing it, I'm like, I can't wait to do that."
Yeah, it's
It's
not the ambition is not the Christine Bougie show.
exactly, it's like, I don't have that ambition, which is fine, I need to accept that. It's like, I work in the way I wanna work. I've positioned myself as, like, a side player
Mhm.
so that people aren't, like, expecting that I'm gonna do my own thing. So when I do something on my own, it's like, "What is this?"
Mm.
Just instrumental guitar, not jazz really, like, I was kind of into that for a while, but I don't make that kind of music,
Mhm.
so I get to have this creative place in
Mhm.
my life where it's like, I can just make records if I want to that are just exactly what I feel like making,
Yeah.
and I'm not on a label, no one's telling me to do anything. They're just little works of art that I get to make.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
whoever likes it, you know?
Yeah, and not having, like, a super spotlight on you, like,
Right.
the expectation that,
Yeah.
like, when's the next Christine album coming out?
Exactly.
It's like, well, she'll
Yeah.
put it out when she feels like it, and that's
Yeah.
perfectly great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
And I mean, and I put out things, I have my own, for some reason, internal clock about I'm like, "Well, it's been a couple years, I better put something out,"
You do
you
have
know?
that,
I
yeah.
kinda do.
Mm.
I don't know why, but it just feels like it's time to get something out,
Yes.
you know? And I don't know if that just comes from being a consumer of music in our lifetime and just knowing that that's,
There's an
if
expectation
yeah, it's
somewhere.
like you gotta keep making something, like, what's your next thing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's always an interesting, I find, subject. It's like, yeah, is it what I want, or is it an
Right.
external thing that I feel like I should do, you know?
I always got the sense that you were, like, doing what you wanted to do for you,
Yeah.
even though there was, like
Yeah,
you had
it's
something up and running where you're playing shows, and then there's an expectation. It's like, I have a band, and we wanna work, and
yeah,
there's some expectations to keep up something,
yeah,
but then your music got, like, less suited to, like, fulfilling the expectations of,
yeah,
like, doing a blues thing or whatever. You're like, "I wanna do this kinda thing," and
yeah.
that always seemed, um, like, what do you call it? Intrinsically,
Yeah. It
motivated.
was, it was. It was, but at the same time, I also feel like I was sort of struggling with the trying to be cool
Oh,
or
right.
trying to fit in. I was That was something I was definitely conscious
Right.
of, and I wanted young people to like me.
Right. Right.
I
Yeah.
wanted to feel like I fit in with my
Mhm.
peers of young people because I always felt like I failed at that.
Hmm.
That
Right.
was difficult.
I mean, it's just so weird to think about who likes the stuff that you do, and like
Yeah.
what's the demographic of the people, and
Yeah, and falling into that is, like, the worst place you can be. Like, it's
yeah.
never gonna make you happy. Growing up, going to, like, my friend's house, they wanted to listen to Nirvana, and I
Mhm.
wanted to listen to the Beatles,
Yeah.
I never felt like I fit in with people my age musically
Right.
anyway, but I
Yeah.
had such a hard time accepting that
Yeah.
and just being okay with that. I
Exactly.
just was not okay with that.
Yeah.
Now I'm perfectly fine with it.
Yeah.
But,
It's like that's
you know,
authentic.
what about you? Like, did you ever have those concerns? Like, who's gonna like this, and is it relevant, or
Not with like, yeah. I don't really feel that with my own music that I make,
yeah.
and because it's just so it's so like specifically me,
Mhm.
and it's certainly not like anything that's fits into any trendy type of music.
Mhm.
So it's just like my weird thing, and whoever likes it, and then I play with people who like uh, appeal to different audiences,
Yeah.
and like are have their moment of being cool and popular
Yeah.
at different phases, and then move out of that and are now like, okay, I'm like, should we play to older people? Like, we are older.
Yeah. No, it's so interesting because, like, that's what makes something cool, actually,
Right. Yeah.
is not worrying about who likes it, or doing something that is just super different from what everybody else is doing because it's you. Like,
Right.
that is actually the definition of cool. You mentioned that your inner critic will come up more when you're doing your solo projects. Can you get into that a little bit? Like,
Yeah.
where it interferes with what you're trying to do?
I mean, yeah, I think it just because when I work on my own stuff, I often do it. I'm really alone when I'm working on it.
Yeah.
I'm like here in this studio, and I'm just by myself, and I'm not bouncing ideas off of anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm working with like a producer like Josh Fantasso, who I often work with, that's great because then I can send him something. He can give me feedback. But like this last thing I've been doing, I've just kind of been self-producing it. So I've been really, really alone working on
Yeah,
it.
okay.
And eventually I was like, Josh, can you give me your ear on this?
Right.
Like, I didn't ask him to be involved in the beginning, and I I've got some feedback from him and help with like mixes that I'm trying to do on my own, which is also like
Okay.
a whole world,
Yeah.
mixing and getting into your own stuff.
Yeah, it's hard when you have zero perspective.
Yeah,
Like when you're trying to do all the steps, the writing, the playing, the
exactly.
mixing, like that's
It's too
it's
much.
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also because of the music that I'm making is so I don't have, like, a reference to kind of, like, A/B it to in a
Right.
way, other than my own music, really. It's like I can't kinda compare it and go, "Does this sound kinda like this, and does this make sense?" It's just I'm like, I'm working on this solo lap steel thing, and I don't have any reference for it. I was kinda looking up, like, are there any truly solo lap steel albums that exist in the world?
Right.
There's, like not really, there's kinda Hawaiian stuff but even just with accompaniment and
Yeah.
there's lap steel forward featured things, but not just, like, on its own. It's like, why did I choose this challenge exactly? But at some point, I just thought it would just be cool to, like, hear it on its own, and
Hmm.
sometimes when I'm playing it on its own, I like it. I'm like, "This is cool. This is enough to, like, listen to," and, um,
How does it manifest? Like your critic, what happens?
I mean, I'll just the same old stuff that I'm sure comes up for everyone, which
Mm.
is just like, "This sucks." Just listen to something like, "This isn't good. This isn't good enough." Like, before you start working on something, before you've started is, like, the best, honeymoon phase of just like,
Yeah.
"I have the idea." Like,
It's great. And
it's
in your
gonna be
mind,
good.
it's so great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, there's all the time to work on it, and I can shape it into whatever it's gonna be. And then you start doing it and you're like, "It's good. Yeah, I know it's good." And then you get to a point where you're like, "It's not really that good maybe. Like, it's actually harder than I thought to
Yeah.
figure this out." And then you're down in the dumps. You're like, "This is actually garbage."
Yeah.
But I think I've come back up. I've come back up from that point where I'm like, "No, this is good." And I'm like, "Oh, this is good." And part of, like, what gets me out of that is getting feedback, like, honest feedback where people are
Mm.
like, yeah, you could work on this more, like, give this
Yeah.
more attention." And I think sometimes, like, the inner critic, that voice that comes up for me, if it's coming up at all, it is a good thing,
Yep.
likely, because it's like, are you giving this the right attention? Like, there's a weird balance that you have to get right with recording or writing or something where you want to capture something,
Mm.
like, in its purest, like, kinda raw, not perfect, but, like, it has the magic in it kind of state, and then you also have to maybe work on it a bit more. I think I'm not too bad at, like, I'm not putting the voice toward my identity and myself. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
like when I'm like, "This isn't good right now." Like, I don't feel like this is it or this is working. I'm not saying, "You suck,"
Yeah.
and you're a bad musician,
Yeah.
right? It's just like,
Why do you bother,
yeah,
Christine?
like that, because I imagine that people I know people go
It
that
it
far.
can go
Right,
really far. It can be really brutal and
right.
harsh. Yeah.
And my identity is very much tied to my
Yeah.
musicianship
Yeah.
and, like, what I do. It's, like, I would be lying if I said that I'm not,
Yeah.
like, that's a big part of my identity,
Yeah.
but I'm conscious of that, and I don't want that to be my identity. I don't wanna be like, if I make a bad record, I'm a shitty person. It's
Yeah.
like, I know enough to be able to separate that,
Yeah.
and I think, yeah, like, that inner critic voice is, yeah, it's not the enemy.
Yeah.
It's just like a critical part of yourself that will never go away,
Yeah.
probably.
It tells you that you haven't reached the goal yet
Right.
because we all want to make the best thing we can.
Yeah, and you're probably never gonna, like, really reach it, but you wanna get as close as you can.
Yeah, and that's where the sort of juggling act is,
Yeah.
and where you have to figure out, is my critic being overly
Right.
harsh?
Yeah.
And that's the difficult part I find is
Yeah.
figuring out, is my critic just way out of line from what I'm capable of doing?
Right.
Because there's no sense if your critic is like, "You're not Celine Dion, you
Right.
suck." but I never was able to sing like Celine Dion in the first
Right.
place, so,
Yeah.
like, you're not making any sense,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I find that that's the difficult part is I having an accurate
Right.
assessment.
Yeah, because a lot of what feels, like, disappointing when you're not reaching the thing that you're going for is well, or a part of it could be, like, the skill. Like, yeah, if you
Yeah,
don't have the I remember in before I was playing music, when I was really into drawing, that I would have the same kind of feeling that I have now about making music, where I'd be, like, just envisioning, like, "I'm gonna make this comic book." Like,
yeah,
I have the idea,
grand
and I'm
idea.
excited about it, and it's, like, a huge thing, and of course, like, it's so all your ambition is so surfacey. It's like, I'd start with the cover. It's like, I'm gonna make the cover. Like, there's no story at all. It's
You
just
go straight to the Oprah Winfrey interview.
yeah,
Like, I used to imagine being
exactly.
on TV, like, getting interviewed.
Right. Yeah, it's like nothing to do. There's no substance at all. It's just the outer layer, but that's natural. I think that's what people do.
It's the dream.
Yeah, when you're, if you wanna be an artist of some type. And then you do something, would draw something, and it just looks so bad. Like, it's never gonna come anywhere
Yeah,
close to what you're comparing it to, and that's because your skills are so bad. Like, you don't
exactly.
have any skill. And then it almost gets harder when you do develop a lot of skill, because it's like you're closer. Like, I have 30 years of playing guitar now. Like, I'm developing skill all the
Yeah,
time, and then the critic can get more maybe nitpicky and intricate there, where it's
yeah,
like, how good should you be? Like, should you be working more on just the nuts and bolts of, like,
yeah.
should you be developing your skill more to, like, match this vision and, you know?
Yeah, I think it was you because 'cause we've talked like, over the years, we've talked about creativity and the creative process and stuff
Mhm.
like that. Um, was it you, I think, that shared with me it was like a video of Ira Glass talking
Mm,
about the gap.
right.
I don't know if
I
it was
remember I
but
remember this.
yeah,
Like, I remember
so
the thing that he said about it, so I
yeah,
probably
I don't know
saw a
if
video and showed it
we
to you.
talked about it or whatever, but anyway, but that's kinda what he
Where
talked
he
about.
talks about, like, what is it? It's
The
that, like,
gap between where
right.
you wanna be and where you are currently.
And it's about taste, and, like, your taste is ahead
And
of your skill, right?
yes,
Yeah,
and closing the gap, like,
yeah,
what do you do to close the gap
right.
is, like, basically, I guess, work on keep working on your
It
skill,
is
right?
skill,
Yeah,
yeah. Which is a funny way to talk about it, maybe, because skill, like, I'm thinking that the skill of what? Like,
yeah,
playing? Because it's like there's a skill in creating,
yeah,
like, that isn't, like, a technical thing. It's just not about, like, being proficient or fast.
right.
Or like, fast on the guitar or something, or
Yeah.
something really physical. It's like there's a skill of getting good at creating something
Yeah,
too.
is that discernment or judge having
I
but
think
it's
so.
and that's the other thing is good taste is so
Right.
subjective, right? What is good
Yeah.
taste? But
So
it
personal.
is part of the skill.
Yeah, we value that. We know what, like, when people have taste and they kind of curate things,
Yeah,
and it's sort of intangible, but it's a real thing to have taste, you know?
like Paul Matthew.
Mm.
Oh, I haven't seen Paul in probably over a decade, but
Oh, wow,
I
yeah.
remember we played a Mariposa. Paul Matthew was my bass player, back in, like, 2006,
Mm.
and, we were playing at Mariposa, and we're just standing around, and, you hear the bands playing in the distance kinda
Yeah.
thing, and then something happened that was just, like, not good,
Uh-huh.
and Paul just goes, "Oh, that was bad judgment."
Right.
And that just always stuck with me
It's good, smart.
because it's not like, "Oh, that's so
Yeah, that person
bad. That
sucks.
person
Yeah.
sucks."
It's
It's
like,
just like, "Oh, that was a bad idea."
yeah.
You know?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the most important thing with all the inner critic stuff, is, like, just separating it out from you.
Yes.
Like, if you do therapy and get into parts work or parts therapy, and understand that there's multiple parts within you,
Mhm.
that that inner critic is just one part,
Mhm.
and that, again, will never go away,
Mhm.
probably, and maybe hopefully. I don't know if you wanna, like, kill that, right? So it's just, like, a relationship to manage or develop or something. Like, you could have a really bad, toxic relationship with your critic where it's like, it's just abusing you and
Yeah.
you're just taking it, or you can, talk. I think, like, one of the ways that I work with that is I'm, like, in kind of constant dialogue with myself
Mhm.
or parts of myself, and that I'm, like, the way that I'm journaling all the time is very, like, it I'll do, like, interstitial journaling, like, throughout the.
Interstitial.
Yeah,
What
like,
does that mean?
within the day, I'll just open up my journal and, like, write a little bit, and then
Mhm.
it's not like, "Okay, it's time to journal. It's 9
Yeah.
AM or it's midnight," and it's like, dump the day's
Yeah.
stuff out. It's like, when I'm at my computer and I'm working on something, I keep it, like, open, like a window,
Okay.
open, note file sort of,
Yeah.
so as I'm working on something, if I'm struggling with it, I'll just turn to that and kinda, like, talk to myself through that and talk
That's
it
so
through,
cool. Yeah.
and, like, maybe make a little note, like, "This isn't going well. Taking a break now," just sort of like a log of my thoughts, and that's
Right.
kind of a way to just get it out and, like, see
Separate
what's
it
happening.
from
Yeah, exactly. It's like a work log of, like, what's going on in my brain while I'm trying to do something else,
yeah.
just make note of it. And that helps me, and if I'm really, like, struggling with something, I might just really stop what I'm doing and turn to that journal and just get into it and spend, 30 minutes just writing about something, and then be like, "Okay, got that out. Get back to it."
That is just blowing my mind right now. That is such a good idea.
Yeah, it's really helpful.
Yeah.
I find that's, like, a good, like, trick or something,
Yeah.
like, especially for beating, like, procrastination on something too, like,
Uh-huh.
just Eh, I don't know, I've developed a relationship with my journaling where it's like, I it's seeing what I'm doing. Like, I don't know who I'm talking to, it's me,
Yeah.
but some part of me is, like, in this constant conversation, so I can really, like, coach myself into getting started on something, give myself renegotiate when I wanna take a break. It's like another person or
A
something that
back
I'm,
and forth.
yeah, in conversation with all the time, and it's not really like that I don't have my inner critic isn't talking to me through that so much, it's more it's a bit higher self kind of talk, you know?
Yeah, it's like kinda overriding it.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's like,
What do I want actually
right,
besides this thing that's nagging at me right now?
right.
It's like a reminder.
Yeah, yeah, and like a little log of it so I can go, "Okay, that happened," and also, like, taking time away from what you're doing, taking breaks
Sure.
from
Yeah.
things is a big part of my, like, routine and habits around creating anything where
Uh-huh.
it's like you can't focus on anything that you're doing for more than, for me, an hour or, like, an hour and a half maybe,
Yep.
until it's like you gotta stop. And if you're working on something that's hard and vulnerable and personal and creative, I think you should only devote those little chunks to it and, like, really put it away, at
Yeah.
least till, like, the next day, if not longer, if you
Yeah.
can, so you can have that, like, spaced, repetition and perspective on
Perspective.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can just come back to it and be like, "Oh, yeah, I like this," or, "I know how to solve this problem now because
Sure.
it's been, like, a couple days and it just sounds fresh to me now," and
Yeah, and naturally, your brain just keeps working on it while you're away from it anyway, and that's
yeah,
so helpful to just not hear it, not touch it, because your
totally.
brain will just, like you said, like, find solutions while you're not
Yeah. You
looking
think
at
that it's
it.
like, "I've gotta put the time in, I'm gonna spend, like,
Yeah.
hours," and that really never pays off. You
No,
just
it
get so
doesn't.
in the weeds with something and you, like, ruin it.
Yeah, and that's can be another self-critic thing is like,
Right.
"You gotta sit
Yeah.
down there and keep working until you
Totally.
figure it out," you know? Can be
Totally.
really brutal like
Yeah,
that.
totally.
But, yeah, you've sort of developed and kind of from what I remember, you back in the day too, you always had the journaling, but we
Yeah.
never had actually talked about how you journaled too
Yeah.
much. But you are always exploring new ways of having that conversation with yourself.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was really cool and so not chaotic. Like I always felt so chaotic in my mind, and you always felt so
Is
streamlined.
that true? I feel like you were journaling and stuff around then too, weren't you?
Well, like I did the artist away
Right, yeah.
uh back in like '07. And so I had started doing morning pages and stuff. But yes, I always
Yeah,
journaled. Ever since I was a kid, I would end up dumping on a piece
yeah,
of paper at
yeah.
some point, somehow. But it was a lot more emotional
Yeah.
dumping
Yeah,
than you. It's just yours, even your journal sounded curated to me. I'm
yeah.
like, how do you?
I mean, I've done the morning pages thing, I've tried that. I think it's useful, but yeah, it does get you it's so emotional. You're like,
Yeah,
wake up, and as soon as you wake up, dump all the most, like, subconscious, like, the things that are pushing on you, and you spend 3 pages doing that, and then you're just like, I that would just overwhelm me. I feel like now I'm
yeah.
just, like, swamped in this, and
Yeah.
I
It's like putting your face in your pile of shit
right.
and like going, look at
And then it's like,
it.
"Okay, now I'm gonna start my day, I guess?" Like, I don't feel good now.
Yeah.
It's good to do that, but it needs to fit into the d to me, I need to, like, have more self-directed time, and in the journal, for me, helps me to do that. Like, I
Yeah.
could do a bit of a dump like that, and then I would have to end that with, like, "Okay, let's, like, think
Yes.
about moving forward now. What are we gonna do
What do we do
today?"
with this?
Right.
Yeah. So I've started doing actually a little bit of morning writing
Mm.
back in like January. I was like, I just felt the need to do that. I don't
Yeah.
know. But because I had spent so many years, because I hadn't written in a journal in years when I
Yeah.
started again, like a few months ago, because I was so tired of listening to my own bullshit.
Yeah.
So how I approached it this time around was that I just asked questions.
Mm.
I just said, "What do I do about this?"
Yeah.
And because in the morning, my brain is so much clearer and my emotions are just calm and I have more space mentally, the answers come up much easier.
Yeah, totally.
So that's been my new way of journaling is
That's such a good way
just
to
questions.
journal and approach anything. Problem solving is like questions.
Yeah.
Like, just give me questions. You can give yourself questions,
Yeah. And
and
you will give yourself
yeah,
answers. It's
you
amazing.
really access different parts, and you don't know what you're gonna say. Like, you
No.
don't really know the answer to a question. You could ask the same question of yourself multiple days in a row, and on the 4th day, you come up with a really different answer.
Yeah.
So it's really yeah, it's a good way to, like yeah, because even talking about inner critic stuff, it's like, that's what is that? That is a part of you that you are in conversation with.
Yep.
Maybe you think it's just one way, it
Yeah.
talks to you, but, you have something to say back,
Yes.
and maybe you can ask that part
It's a
questions.
really good point. Try to have a conversation.
Yeah, like, what are you why
What do
are
you
you
want?
talking to me like this? Like, what do
Yes.
you yeah, I don't know, there could be really interesting questions to ask of that part when it's saying things to you that are really harsh.
Yeah, and maybe a nice or a good way or a healthier way to interrupt
Right.
it
Mhm.
or to yeah, not just take it.
Right.
Because that to me was what it felt like
Yeah.
when that would start. I would just lay down and take it and
Yeah.
just feel like the most horrible person,
Yeah.
useless person, you
Yeah.
know? And yeah, maybe that's actually a good way to not do that, not just lay down and feel
Exactly.
horrible.
Yeah.
It's like, no, engage or I don't know,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Just kinda get above it. Like, you have parts of you that are bigger than that part.
Yeah.
That's a small part of you that gets really loud. And,
Yes.
angry and harsh parts get the most attention, and they're scary, and
Yes.
so they feel really big. But if you think about that, the parts in you as, a family systems kinda thing, it's like that's, one loud sibling or something in the house,
Uncle.
right? And yeah, and there's other people. There's like the
Yeah.
grandmother and the parents and different
A nurturing
perspectives,
part.
right? That
Yeah.
you can access and
Yeah, because I think you're right. Like I think we also all have a nurturing part.
absolutely.
And like, yeah, how to access the nurturing part, like you said, the higher part
Yeah,
is really key to stay healthy.
totally.
Yeah. What I've sort of been thinking about inner critic wise, we touched on that a little bit, but is not necessarily dismissing the inner critic as just mean,
Mm,
but considering what it might be trying to tell you just
mhm.
in a mean way.
Right, right.
Because I think sometimes for me, in my experience, it did have a point,
Yeah.
but I just didn't want to listen because it was saying it in such a mean way.
Mm,
But it was also trying to say, you actually need to work more on this.
mhm.
Because if you want it to be as good as you want it to be, you
Yeah,
don't have it right now to be able to do that.
right.
So it would be just nicer if it was said in that way.
Right, like
You know?
exactly, like, talk to you in the way that you would talk to a friend or something, like,
Yeah.
how yeah, what's a way that yeah, but the difference between criticism and or, like, constructive
Yeah.
criticism and,
Yeah, maybe you wanna
sabotage.
work on that a little more. So maybe another idea is, like, when you have a criticism, like a really harsh criticism, maybe try to see what underneath is actually maybe true.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, maybe there
exactly.
is something you need to work on a little
Right.
bit more there.
Yeah, what's true about this?
Yeah.
What's not? I mean, like,
Yeah.
if you wouldn't wanna talk to your good friend in that way, the way that that voice is talking to you, but if you really wanted to give good constructive feedback to a friend who was wanting it, you had that nugget of something true that they need to hear that's like, "This isn't quite there," or something. How
Yes.
how would you say that to them? You'd probably, like, compliment them, give them a,
Yeah.
sandwich of, like, "This is good, this part of it's good, this part of it maybe needs some work, and then also, though, it's really good."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
Keep
know?
going.
Yeah, some encouragement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Does creativity for you feel different from the stage to the writing room to the recording studio?
Yeah, I mean, I think because playing on stage is so in the moment,
Mhm.
and it's creative. I mean, you're creating in a moment in real time with the band, and I love that part of playing. But then, yeah, being in the studio is so you're under a microscope,
Yeah.
and that's just a different type of creativity. It requires like different skills and different energy from you. So, I mean, they just to me they feed each other. They
Mhm.
work together. It's like the time that you spend more isolated or like under a microscope recording things or really like breaking it down and working on it and being precise feeds your ability to like go on stage and just play,
Yeah.
you know? I don't think I struggle as much with like the critic stuff, inner critic stuff when performing live because
Yeah.
it's just like you just have to let it go. Like every moment it's just gone, 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 gone. And of course, if you make like a really bad mistake or something when you're playing, that sucks and you have to feel that.
How do you
And
deal with that?
I don't know, just it just lasts a couple days maybe, or just like thinking about, oh, that thing that I really messed up.
Yeah.
But it goes away. I think I trust that it's like that happens,
Yeah.
You just make mistakes and everyone does it. And then you get to like be on stage when someone else does something dumb and
Yeah.
you try not to make a big deal of it. And performing live is so great for that, to be in a practice of doing something that you get to really like, really be in the moment with. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it is a leap of faith.
Yeah. And I love that. It's like, there's something that, you can't fake that. You can't perform, with all the things that we can hide behind and the
Yeah.
tricks that we can do, and you can have fake music or whatever being made and produced and recorded. You can't fake that, like, live performance. It's just a picture of where you're at from the years of experience that you have in that moment, and
Yeah.
yeah, that's the practice of it.
Do you prepare a lot before a
I
show
I
or?
try to. I mean, I every show, often if it's like you're learning new material for
Yeah.
one show or something, there's like a time crunch, then a clock ticking on it where it's like the show's on Saturday. I have to like work on these songs and really know them. And I still, yeah, it's a funny like balance between preparing and then just being like just trusting that like you know it enough to do it, and
Yeah.
then it um, confirms when the show goes well and you can play. You're like, oh, like I didn't have to worry so much about
Yeah.
preparing that much because it was great, and like your instincts kick in and you can do it. But I do I want to spend time preparing, and I do, I probably do put in the hours, but that's an area where I'll, like, procrastinate working on something probably because I know deep down that just knowing a song by listening to it is the ultimate way to know a song. Like,
Yeah.
so just listening is so important, but for some reason I feel resistance to doing that, even though it's so easy to just I should just put the music on when I'm,
Do the
driving here or
dishes.
doing the
Yeah.
dishes, and I won't
Oh,
because there's like a
interesting.
resistance to like I don't know. Yeah, that's something that will come up for me.
Do you
And
think it's just the overwhelm of having 20 songs to learn?
I think it's it. I think it's just overwhelming, and then knowing that it's gonna work out, so you're just like you're
Rely.
just like
Yeah.
doing just enough to like know it. And then the funny thing is like when I often I'm doing getting to this gig or whatever it is, recording session or something, I feel like often I'm like, "Oh, I'm really prepared." Like, I am prepared. I've made the most notes. I've seen, like I'm looking around and, like, someone doesn't know any of the songs or something, you know? So, maybe it's that I have really high expectations of how well I should know something,
Right.
because really, how well can you know something before you just do it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't wanna have, like, a moment where I don't know I want everything to be really internalized,
Yeah.
and if you have a short time period to work on something, it's just, like, impossible to have it internalized, and
Mhm.
sometimes I can get my expectation is too high because I'll just look at it really, like, logically. I'll be like, "Well, I have all this time, so, like, how like, I should technically be able to absorb this music
Yeah.
in this time," but that's not how life works. Like,
Mhm.
just because you have 1 full day and there's 24 hours in it, doesn't mean you can manipulate that time in a way that where you, like, deeply absorb something. You can't speed that up or fake that, like
Yeah, yeah, sometimes our expectations are way out of whack with,
Right,
like, what's actually possible or what's
right.
actually doable, and
Yeah,
yeah, that's another gap to close.
yeah,
Sometimes it's like
yeah, and it's really internal. I mean, I don't know if everyone's going through that same thing, every different person on the same gig is, like, having
yeah.
that experience, or if, like, some people are just showing up and like, "Whatever." You know?
Yeah, and you don't wanna over prepare either
Right,
because then it's just rigid.
right.
So, there
Yeah,
has to be room for things to happen.
because they will happen and they'll go
Yeah,
off the rails, and you have to be, like, willing to just go with the flow and, you know,
yeah.
change at a moment's notice.
Yeah, and that's where a skill comes in. You have to know, how to respond
Right.
in the moment, and that's something that you can't just that just takes the time that it takes to
Yeah, you can't
build
you
that.
can't practice that alone. You
Right.
can't practice that in your room. Like, you can only practice that in real time by doing like, I'm thinking specifically of playing a performance, playing a show,
Yeah.
and preparing for it, and you can prepare the song, in whatever way you think that it's, like, exactly the way the song goes, but the skill of, like, we're doing it in a different key all of a sudden accidentally or
Yeah.
something, or people are using tracks and they stop working,
Yeah.
like, all those kinds of things, you just have to be in those moments enough to be able to, like, I can handle that, and I can pivot and
Yeah.
save the moment and make it into something and just relax into it. To me, I think I can chalk that up to, like, just the experience. Like,
Yeah.
I've had enough experience, played
Yeah.
enough shows where things go wrong or just twists and turns that I know that I can navigate it,
Yeah.
and maybe that's just it.
Did you
So
ever have one that was just totally not cool? Like,
I mean, I don't know if I can think of, like, a specific time.
yeah.
I've definitely had, like, the worst things to me are just, like, real technical,
Yeah.
like, when things just like an amp
Yeah.
blows or something, like the tube blows and things just they're so out of your control that you
Yeah.
really can't do anything.
Mhm.
And because then none of you it doesn't matter. Like, your
No,
skills can't
exactly.
kick in. It's like, "Oh, my guitar stopped working." Like, the
There's no
pickup is
sound.
disconnected. Like, I just have to walk off
Anybody
stage or
have another
something. Yeah,
guitar?
that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
More
yeah.
so than yeah, music definitely, musical things go all over the place all the time, and
Yeah.
I think I feel that's just fun. Like, I wanna be playing music where people can handle that enough.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's fun for the audience too,
Right.
to not to feel like there's some edge happening, like, that not everybody knows where things this is
Right.
going, like, it is fun. It
Yeah.
is fun to
It's
watch
just
that.
human. Like, you're there to
Yeah.
have, like, an experience like that.
Do you have any pre-show rituals, like, to get into your headspace?
I don't know. I mean, different bands that I play with maybe have their own thing that, like, we all do
Mhm.
together, but I don't really, like, warm up or anything.
No.
I mean, I know singers need to do that more than I'm just playing guitar. Like, I don't feel like I need to warm my hands up too much.
Yeah.
Although I do like playing before. Like, in Bahamas, we often have like a green room, dressing room gear set up, like just like a
Mhm.
little drum kit and
Cool.
a couple little amps and a bass and a guitar so we can just be playing,
Yeah.
and we're not playing the songs we're gonna play on stage. We're just jamming whatever,
Cool.
playing songs, just so you feel like you're limber at least
Yeah.
and loose a bit. It's just much better than, looking at your phone or something in the
Yeah,
green room
remember
until the
that
last
you're a
minute.
musician.
Yeah. Yeah, like,
Yeah,
you're playing and
remember
then
that,
you're,
yeah.
"Oh, it's time to go," and then just put that guitar down and walk on stage and
Yeah.
pick up another one, and yeah.
I think that's so great though, the having the little sort of jam space, because it just
Yeah.
kind of it just reconnects you to why you're there.
Yeah.
And, like, not even why you're there for the show, but, like, why you're there because you love to play
Yeah, in the
music
biggest picture way is true.
and remember how fun it is,
Right.
like, um, so a long time ago when I was, struggling with anxiety and all this self-judgment thing, you said something to me that, like, just stuck with me this whole time.
Mm.
Um, you said, "You have to take it seriously, but not too seriously."
I said that? Wow. I remember that.
You said that, it was so wise in so few words.
Hmm.
Um, and I didn't know how to do that at the time.
It was really serious. I think that was probably
It
the
was
thing.
so
Yeah.
serious. So how have you managed to take it seriously, but not too seriously? Like, how do you make the best music you can without becoming overly critical? I guess it's all the things we've talked
I mean,
about
yeah,
so far, but
well, I think it is comes back to that idea of not you aren't the thing that you're making,
yeah.
right? Because like the difference between taking maybe your work seriously and taking yourself seriously
Mhm.
maybe could have been another way. But I don't think I would have said that to you, but maybe that's how I think about it. Like, don't take yourself too seriously, but take your work seriously,
Mhm.
which to think of it that way, it's just like separating out, like, this is a thing that I do, that I work on, and I should take it seriously. I should put the appropriate amount of energy into it, but
Yeah.
not too much, like, not at the sacrifice of other parts of my life and my health and
Mhm.
whatever, right? So, I
And
think
that it's not a reflection on me as a person or whether I'm lovable
right.
or,
It's yeah, I
like
mean, easier said than done
yeah.
because, yeah, when someone validates you and likes your music or the thing that you make, it's hard not to take that as like, "Oh, I'm good." Like,
Yeah,
I
I
made
I
that, so
people like me because of this thing that I do.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that feels good, and honestly, like, sometimes that's helpful to have, like, some people say, don't take like, if you're gonna take the good reviews, then you have to take the bad
Yeah.
reviews, right? Like, you can't take any of it, but I don't know if that's really true, like, it's good to let a little bit of the good feedback in, like, I do
Yes.
have, like, an email folder where it's like, if someone sends me a nice message, it's just called, like, nice messages.
That's
It's
nice.
just, like, someone I don't know, it's like, "I like your music for this reason," or whatever, and it's feels authentic and it's like a stranger maybe,
Yeah.
I'll just keep that aside, and it's just nice to have that if you need a boost, you're like, "Look at all
Yes.
these people that I don't know from wherever in, another country or something that are like, 'I really like your music,' like, it means this to me," and I think you can still take in a bit of that without taking, any I don't
Not having a, like, really shitty email as I've
right.
gotten folder.
I mean, and I could have that too, actually, like, in a way, not so much about music, but I don't have that. That's like, delete those emails,
Yes,
like,
you don't need to hang on to
don't read
those.
those emails over. That's recipe for disaster.
Yeah, that's such another really it's such a bougie, uh, self-care thing that another one of those things that you do so well, have a little folder.
I
That's so you.
I recommend it. It's really helpful.
Are there opportunities that you've missed or didn't take because of self-doubt or
Hmm. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe I've probably turned down opportunities to play, maybe like performing my own stuff or doing something that was like, it feels like too much out of my comfort zone or something. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know
Mm.
if I can like hold an audience's attention for that long just on my own. So I'm like not gonna do it or
Mhm.
something. Like I'll take it. It's like it's only 20 minutes. Okay, I think I could do that,
Right.
but I don't want to play for an hour and a half on my own or something.
Sure.
I want to push outside of my comfort zone somewhat, but not like off the deep end.
Yes.
you know? So
Yeah, and that's what they say, like, in creativity, training or whatever, the best place to be is just outside of your comfort zone,
right, yeah.
but not too much outside of your comfort zone where you freeze and you
Right.
yeah, and then you just the self-critic can really
Yeah, exactly. It feels so good to be slightly out of your comfort zone.
yes.
Like that's the zone. That's like, oh yeah, because you're just getting a little bit better. You're pushing yourself. You're testing like how much you can push, and yeah, that feels so good.
Yeah, and the challenge is motivating at
Right.
that moment.
Yeah.
It's not overwhelming. It's just
right.
motivating. It's just like, "I can do this," you
Yeah.
know? How do you know when you need to step back a little bit to rebalance yourself, like, as a human
Mm.
outside of an artist or creative person?
I think if I'm like unable to focus the way I want to on things, if I'm like I'm really getting distracted
Mhm,
and yeah, I can't stick with something. I'm like, something's off. Like
mhm,
I'm too maxed out or I'm going to burn out on like the amount of things I'm trying to do. That's a sign. And maybe like, I don't know, just get overly emotional about something.
mm.
Just like your work is just, it's too much and you're just like going to cry about it. It's like, okay, I need to stop
You're
doing
taking
things.
it too
Yeah,
seriously.
exactly. Yeah. And yeah, I'm talking about work, but I guess, and it's hard to even separate that from what life is, I guess, just yeah, the stress of life. To me, it's like, oh no, I need to go back to the basics of probably getting more in my body, which is like going to the gym
Mm,
and having a routine like that in the morning and doing simple things, getting enough sleep and not trying to squeeze the most, like, work out of every day that I can and just letting myself having time, real downtime, like,
Mhm.
take a nap, read a book, like, just be a human, lay in the park. But I guess I recognize that from, yeah, feeling, like, really emotional over little
Mhm.
things or something and really distracted and unable to focus on the things that I want to,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah, it's where the stuff that's supposed to be fun to do becomes not
Right.
fun to do,
Yeah,
and it just
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
not
Yeah, what's the point? It's like, I want to be enjoying most of my time.
Yes!
Like,
That's not too
that's
much
the
to ask.
that's the goal.
Yeah.
It's not possible to have a frictionless, like,
Mhm.
life, of course, but you can do a lot to, like, enjoy a lot of what you have control over day to day.
Yeah, and in creative work, it's almost, like, impossible to create anything unless it's pleasurable in some
Right,
way.
right, because then what are you capturing?
Right.
You're capturing, like, all of your stress, like, to think about making music and composing and recording, it's like, if you listen back and you hear you remember where you were and when you wrote that and when you played it and when you recorded it, and it's just filled with, like, bad, stressful memories. It's like, "Well, why did I capture this?" Like, what
Yeah.
was the point? Or and also, is that gonna translate? I always think about, like,
Mhm.
what do other people? Because I don't think it necessarily does, like, so
Mhm.
you could be in a hellish state and make something really beautiful, I think, and
Mhm.
someone else halfway across the world is listening to it, and it means something different to them, and they don't
Mhm.
necessarily know, but you know.
I always wonder about that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
always wonder because 'cause I'm like, it feels like they can feel it,
Yeah.
like but sometimes they don't. Like, sometimes you don't know, and sometimes that's just another thing where you're like, "Okay, you're thinking about this too much."
Right, yeah, like, how much magic are you, like, believing in or attributing to this process of capturing? Like, how much do you think you know about the music of, artists that you admire, that you
Mhm.
don't know personally, and you don't know what they're going through when they
Mm-mm.
made it, and it means something to you because it attaches to something in your life at that time, but maybe they were going through a hard time when they made it, and
Mhm.
you don't really know that.
Yeah, so much projecting going on.
Right. And that's why it's cool to just make something anyway, like, to always be making something in your life that you're capturing, recording, getting down in some way and putting out because it's just cool to have snapshots for yourself of,
Mhm.
like, where you were at and that will become something for someone else in their life too.
Yeah.
I'm glad that the people that I know put out music that whether I am involved with it and I play on it and then I get to listen back and it means something to me, or I just am a consumer of it and it means something to me in my life, you
Mhm.
know? It's
Yeah.
special to be able to do that.
Yeah, and accepting that you don't have control over how it's received and what ends up happening with it for
Right.
someone else.
Yeah.
Like, that's a total illusion that you think that by making the perfect thing or that by having the perfect feeling that somebody else is gonna feel it too,
Right.
like, there's
Totally.
no control.
No, of course not. You have to just, yeah, the same way that your creativity with your own self is, it has that element of, like, you can't control when you're gonna feel inspired or
Mhm,
when something is gonna click, so you have to show up and keep doing it. That also happens in a bigger picture too, like within groups and
mhm,
time periods, and you're just a part of it. And, like,
mhm.
sometimes things happen at a certain time because of it's all these events coming together, and that makes something that happens on the small scale and it happens on the big scale.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
fun to think you can predict it, and that's why, like, astrology is fun. And
yeah.
you're like, "Oh, on this day, this
Let's all go to the
planet
studio.
is gonna do something," and yeah, it's
Yeah,
meaningful, but it's not, we don't really know what's gonna happen.
yeah, yeah, yeah. If you could talk to a younger version of yourself,
Mm.
what would you tell them about self-doubt and, the inner critic?
Mm. I mean, honestly, like that moment that I was talking about with Frizzell, when he gave me that push of
Mhm.
advice to say, like, "You don't need to there's nothing you need to do more, like, you're ready now to do something." I think that came at a crucial time for me when I was in my early 20s.
Mhm.
Um, maybe I just could have heard that sooner. I would
Mhm.
tell that to myself even earlier than that, but, I mean, I was doing what I was doing. I think it worked out, but, yeah, I was lucky to have that. I think if I didn't have that at that time, I might have lost some years of making stuff
Mm.
and going for it. So I think that's just, like, giving someone the encouragement that, like, they're ready to do something. I mean, I don't know if that even needs to be 100% true. You could
Mhm.
just tell someone that, and it would give them the confidence to do it?
Mhm. Stop evaluating and just kind of go on your path. Like,
Yeah,
stop trying to find the right
yeah.
thing or right place and
Or thinking
just
there's something that you need to do before you do the thing, like, that was, I wish I could remember what the actual, like, words were that he said to me,
yeah.
but it was something along the lines he told me, like, a story about uh, people that he went to school with, like, and I didn't really know why he just was, like, offering this story to me. He was like, I went to school with these guys, and they kinda did this and went down this path, and they were always, like, trying to they never quite, like, got going because they were always maybe looking for the next, like, schooling type of
Right.
opportunity or whatever it
What's the
was.
next thing I need to learn to be better? And
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe I was talking in some way about that. Maybe it's 'cause, we're at this, like, workshop, and it's
Yeah.
sort of like this environment, and he might have been saying, like, "Yeah, you don't need to keep doing that, like, just
Yeah.
start doing it now." It's hard to feel like you're ready to do it and that you're at the level you think you're supposed to be at,
Yeah.
like, of the people that you admire or something, in the same way that with aging, you don't feel like you're ever as old as you are. You don't feel you just feel like there's something that's about to happen that's gonna change your life, and then it's
Yes.
gonna click into place, and then you're gonna be, like, this age with this kind of career or something where the reality is, like, you're already doing it, you're already as old as the people
Yeah.
who you looked up to, like, you're not anointed to do it. You anoint yourself to do it?
Yeah. And it's not like because your brain can put that goalpost
Further out.
further and
Yeah.
further and further, and then you just never and so that's not helpful.
No, as soon as you start doing it, you're doing it.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Christine.
Thank
I
you.
really I really enjoyed catching up with you and
Yeah.
having this conversation.
Yeah, it's been nice, and
Yeah,
hopefully we can do it again soon. I'll come visit you.
that would be great. All right. See you soon.
Okay, see you.
That's it for today's episode of Sour Notes. Huge thanks to Christine Bougie for sharing with us. You'll find all links to our guests in the show notes. If this episode resonated with you, you can follow us on Instagram at Sour Notes Pod. And don't forget to leave a review. It helps more musicians find the show. See you next time. Sour Notes is a Flipped Canoe production, editing by me, Roxanne Putway.